Hi, I'm Kimber Tallahassee here with ROME News. Today I am on the steps of the Capitol, where inside Julius Caesar was stabbed only moments earlier. We do not know for sure who stabbed him, but according to several sources, there was a conspiracy behind it. Today we are going to talk with Brutus, who has been accused of stabbing Caesar. Brutus, what do you have to say about this heinous crime that was committed in there? And what do you have to say about your involvement? The citizens of Rome are most certainly enraged at this act against their freedom. What do you have to say in regards to that? Be patient and hear me out. Friends, Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and please listen silently and all the way through. Believe me, because I have never and will never lie to you. And respect me as I respect Rome with the passion. Take into account what I am going to say, and take it in with your best judgment. Now, you may have loved Caesar, but I say, and I guarantee, that I loved him even more. You may be wondering why I assisted in the stabbing of Julius Caesar. And here is my answer. It wasn't because I didn't love Caesar like a brother, but it was because I love Rome even more than I love even my brother by blood. Did anybody love Caesar here who loved him more than they loved their freedom? He would have made you slaves. Even though he was a good man, he was just not a good leader, and it would have led to the destruction of Rome. Yes, Caesar loved and trusted me, and I feel terrible for betraying him at the individual level. And I am so glad that he got to live a life filled with good fortune and love. And I will honor his memory for all my days, because he was a great man. But I had to assist in his assassination, as he was simply too power-hungry. As he received love for all of his good qualities, he received death for his hamartia, as all great men do. Who loved Caesar so much that they would be a slave for the rest of their life, and have all of their children be slaves, just to have Caesar around for a few more years? This would have happened to all the Romans and all the Roman children. Who here would allow this to happen? I would challenge that they do not love their country. Thank you, Brutus, for that intriguing and tragic insight. There you have it, folks. Viewers of ROME News, you are the only ones who have yet to hear the motives behind Caesar's stabbing. This man, though a good friend, was most certainly a tyrant. And the conspirators behind this crime, or is it even a crime anymore, have only been fighting for our freedoms. Here comes Mark Antony, who is one of Caesar's friends. I bet he's against Brutus. I bet Romans are enraged right now at Mark Antony for supporting the tyrant that used to be Julius Caesar. Mark Antony, what do you have to say for yourself? You citizens are my friends. Together, we are men of the country of Rome. We are Romans, every single one of us. And I would like to make one thing clear. I am not here to praise Caesar as a god, but rather to grieve as I bury a friend. Now, usually after somebody dies, people realize that they can now freely talk about the bad deeds that they did throughout their lives. And how would the dead punish them? The good that they did no longer seems relevant or to matter, and is buried with them, especially with public figures and politicians such as my Julius. Now, Brutus has told you that Caesar was an ambitious man, which, if true, is extremely serious, as that makes him a tyrant. I have come today with Brutus's permission to speak about my dear friend. Yes, He was my friend, and I always found him to be loyal and fair. But Brutus says that Caesar was ambitious, and I guess that Brutus would know, wouldn't he? But is Caesar really ambitious? He felt horrible when he saw the impoverished. He denied the crown 3 times at the feast of Lupercal. Would an ambitious man do that? Now, I know that you all used to love Caesar. Stand up for your love of Caesar. Now, that doesn't mean revolt against the conspirators, necessarily. But if the shoe fits, wear it. Stand up for Rome and against the unjust killing of good men. Thank you, Mark Antony. Myself and ROME News Station are very sorry for the tragic and sudden loss of your friend Julius Caesar. Well, there you have it, ROME News Station viewers. Mark Antony has just given us much evidence into why we should not be okay with the assassination of Julius Caesar. We have seen out for ourselves proof as to why Caesar was not ambitious and not a tyrant as Brutus has so accused. We cannot let these men go on assassinating our government officials just so they can get ahead in their own lives and ambitions. These men are the ambitious ones, not Caesar. And why is a man dead, a fair, a just man dead? Because of their ridiculous ambitions. We, as people, need to respond to Mark Antony's call to arms. We need to fight for our rights. We need to fight for the ability to elect a leader who we think should support us. And we need to fight for the right for that not to be taken away by some ambitious government workers who called themselves Caesar's friend. We, as Romans, must stand up for Rome and against these men who obviously despise Rome. Tune in later tonight, viewers, for a more in-depth interview with both Brutus and Mark Antony about Brutus's wrongdoings and Mark Antony's support of Rome. I'm Kimber Tallahassee, ROME News.